Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree, and today I have a very special guest here with me, very own California's Hudson McCarthy, coming from, obviously across the United States because I'm in Pennsylvania. So, hi, Hudson.
Hi, Bree. Hi, everyone. My name's Hudson, and yeah, I also, I guess, make videos on here about writing.
Things.
And things. And copy any Q&A that Bree does.
Yay. So if you guys, I'm going to leave Hudson's information down in the description, but I also featured her on my channel. So if you go to my main page, you can click on her name. I usually think it's in the right-hand side. So you can go do that after this video. But today we are talking about a wonderful topic, which is Star Wars, because Star Wars Day is tomorrow. Where it's May 3rd right now when we're filming it. It's going to go up on my channel on May the 4th. So we're going to talk about all things Star Wars. So I have some questions. We're going to do kind of like a question answer type of video and more of a discussion. So I hope everyone just has fun watching this and we'll get started. So my first question is, we'll start off really easy. Who's your favorite character?
Out of like everything that's ever been made. Okay.
I guess, unless you're like, if you're comparing Legends to like current canon, I mean, you can go a little rogue there.
Oh gosh, can you go first? I need to think about this.
Okay, no, I do have a favorite character, so this one's easy. My favorite character is Ahsoka Tano. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and I have not finished the Clone Wars, which I know is a travesty, but I don't watch TV, so it's really hard for me to like keep up with episodes.
You're better than me. I don't really watch TV, so I haven't even seen them.
Okay, yeah. So Ahsoka is a primary character in that series, yeah. But I'm just a person, when I'm interested in someone, I end up doing like tons and tons of research on my own, and that's why I fell in love with Ahsoka. I just think she's like she is a different race than most of the races that we're seeing in the Star Wars canon verse, and I think that's a travesty. But I do know that I think she's going to be in The Mandalorian for the next season, and I am caught up with that, so I'm very excited to see an adult Ahsoka, because that's what I really want. All the Ahsoka that I've seen so far is teenage, but she has like, in the old lore, like, so the Legends series, she has like the coolest background story, and like she like shifted to like she was kind of like light side and dark side, and kind of like shifted after she lost Anakin to the dark side, and she was kind of like following him and stuff like that. So I don't know, it was just like so interesting to read up on her, and she like dual swords like with the lightsabers, so she's just so cool and badass, and I absolutely love her.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a good one. I'm just going to go with the one that was my favorite when I was a kid, because that was like my huge, like full-on Star Wars obsession time by watching it every day. It was Han Solo. I just like really wanted to be him.
He's classic.
I just really liked Harrison Ford.
That was his prime.
Yeah, Indiana Jones was my favorite series. So like, I feel like that's why I love Star Wars, because Han Solo.
Makes sense. And I mean, he definitely, I think, plays like a very similar role in both of them. So
I don't think he has that much range.
No, I would probably agree. I think it's just Han Solo and Indiana Jones and that archetype.
And I don't care.
It works.
Okay. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that rather than.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, the next question then is, if you had your own lightsaber, what color would you choose?
Well, you can't choose purple because it only belongs to Samuel L. Jackson.
That's true. At least in the movies, unless we're talking about like the rest of the world, I think you can choose.
Yeah, I think you can, but he made such a big deal about it. I just like,
he did.
Don't want to take that away from him.
Ultimate diva.
I wish you could have a black one.
Oh,
has anyone had that?
I think so. I don't know. At least if there's Star Wars experts that are going to watch this video, please let us know in the comments.
Oh gosh, this is so sad. But no, I would want black because then I could sneak around in the dark with it. Because that's the main time I would want to use it. Sorry, the cat is like trying to kill a lizard in the background still.
Oh my God. I love it. Your cat wants to be the center of attention.
She is always the center of attention.
Yes.
Okay, so how about you? What color would you want?
So I like colors in general. So it's really hard for me to choose one. I think like my favorite color is green, but I don't know if I'd actually want a green lightsaber just because neon green isn't like my favorite. It's more of an emerald green. So I'm very specific, but I think I would actually really want like a white or a yellow. And I'm pretty sure in the Star Wars lore, those are like extremely rare. And that's kind of why I want them.
White was my follow-up.
Nice.
Because though I love looking at color, I like wearing the absence of it. So black and white just goes with everything.
It is. Hey, we're complimentary today.
Oh, yes. Dark side, light side.
Yes.
Even though I feel like I'd be more on the other side.
I'm going to have a question about that. I have like red on my eyelids. Well, red and black. I was doing like a Darth Vader look. It just sucks in my camera, at least on my end.
Oh, no, I can see it. There's like red in the crease and then black on the lid. I like it.
Yep. And then I have a Death Star necklace. Trying to. Yeah,
that's
there
so
it is.
Cool.
And I did have my Darth Vader earrings on, but then I put these on and it didn't work because they're like chunky. So I was like, okay, I tried.
Yeah, I don't think I used to have a bunch because when I was a kid after school, all the neighbors would get together and just watch Star Wars. And then we would have like lightsaber fights, but I don't know where those are now.
So that's a good task to do one day when we're out of quarantine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So next question is, if you've read any of the books, do you have a favorite?
I've not read any of the books, but I read the Wikipedia page. Well, not the Wikipedia, but the...
Is it the Wikipedia? Because I know that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I read that a lot in like right out of college. It was my go-to thing.
Awesome.
Because I didn't know how canon the books were, because there was this back and forth with Disney where they were like, no, yes. And I was like, that gets into another rant.
No, I get that. So I have a ton of like the old Legends books now that I'm like, I don't even think I'm ever going to read them because they don't technically matter anymore and it sucks. So
yeah, but my favorite like non-main like movie thing is there was a documentary that I watched done by, pretty sure, the George Lucas studio people, where they talked about all the mythology and folklore and how it's connected to like Star Wars. So that would be mine.
Yeah.
It was on HBO.
That's fair. I've only read 2. I'm like looking because my Star Wars shelf is there and I have a few, but I read only 2, and I read one was actually a middle grade, and I didn't know it was a middle grade till I started reading it. But it was before The Awakening or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like the prequel, which I actually really liked. So I'm going to pick that one as my favorite because I've only read the 2, but it really gave a lot of backstory to Rey, and I loved it. And now, like, based on everything that happened since then, I'm like, is this book even matter anymore?
I know what you mean, because I remember on the Wiki page reading Rey's whole backstory before the 7th one even came out, and I was so excited because I was like, yeah. And I was like super angry.
Yeah, so I'd pick that one because the other one that I read was Ahsoka, and I was really disappointed in it, and it made me so sad because she's my favorite character.
Yeah, I wasn't Ahsoka in the episode 2.
I don't, to my knowledge, no, because I think the only like screen time other than the animated show that she's ever credited in was episode 9, where she had like a voice over, like like the voice actor, I think, like, you know, the scene. Oh, so I guess I should say right now, there's going to be spoilers in this video for anyone who's gotten to this point. But in the last, like the scene where she's like laying there and like all the voices are kind of talking to her,
Oh yes,
So
I remember that
one of
scene.
them is Ahsoka's voice, and she is credited in the scenes or in
Got
the
it.
end screen. So
Such
that's
a
to my
stupid
knowledge.
ending.
We'll get there because I have a really good question for that one.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yes.
you got another lizard.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry.
The perks of living in California, I guess.
Perks of owning a cat. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. Keep
you're
going.
fine. So, yeah. So to this day, that's why with the Mandalorian season 2, with her casting possibly being
Got it.
Rosario Dawson, it's kind of a big deal because she has never been brought to the big screen.
Oh, that is really exciting.
Yeah, or
Okay.
small screen, I guess. But anyway, rant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next question.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, so when did the first film come out? That was 2001, right?
Yeah. It's
So
yeah.
I was a kid who didn't know any better.
Same.
And when the movie first came out, like watching it in the theaters, I thought he was hilarious. And then I rewatched in my early 20s, me and my friends started a Star Wars movie night and the only way we could get through Jar Jar Binks is that we had to create a drinking game.
Oh my God, I love it.
So no, I don't like him now. I liked him when I was a kid though, I will acknowledge. And I think for kids it's great, but
I was gonna say, I feel like the BB-8 and like the Porgs and like the newer movies like related to kids, and that was like I think what Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be back in the day.
Yeah. And then I look at the original trilogy and you didn't really have that. I mean,
No.
I guess R2D2, C3PO, and Chewie were like close to it, but they had more adult humor to them. And I feel
the Ewoks for me were the closest because I love the Ewoks.
Oh yeah. See, I love the Ewoks, but they seemed dangerous as well.
They do. Oh yeah, they're like murderous teddy bears.
Yeah, and I feel like with the 2 most recent trilogies, they kind of forgot that Star Wars, though it was a family film, it wasn't a kids film.
True, yeah.
So, like Indiana Jones, it's not a kids film, but the whole family can watch it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, what did they call, like the crossover? Like when you're comparing it to books, right? With YA and adult, and you're an adult book, but you have YA potential, and that's what I think Star Wars was.
Yeah, and I mean, I can go into why I think they ruined that, but I'll save that.
Okay. We'll get there. I mean, those are some of the bigger questions because I was easing into it. So my next question is, do you have a favorite ship in the series? Whether it's like I said, I know you haven't read the books, but the trilogies.
Wait, when you say ship, do you mean like the Tumblr version of the word ship or like the actual ships? Okay.
I guess that would be a good question too, I guess. But yeah, no, the relationship ship.
I never really shipped anyone because when I was a kid, I wasn't really into romance. It's like a new thing recently being into romance. So I feel like the only thing I ever shipped was within this recent trilogy, which would have been Rey and Finn, because that's how I thought they were writing it in the first film.
I could see that.
Let me tell you who I did not ship.
Oh boy.
Rey and Kylo freaking Ren. Like,
oh man.
I literally turned to Henry right before that scene hit when they like kissed at the end of the recent one, and I was like, if they turn this into a freaking romance, I'm gonna be done with this series forever.
Okay. And I was gonna say, so one of my questions was gonna be, and I feel like this is gonna be a rant for you, is if anything, how would you rewrite The Rise of Skywalker? Everything.
I mean, you have to start with the 8th one.
True. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a big yeah. So I totally get that.
Like, I mean, do I think they did the best they could do after the 8th one? Yes.
Agreed.
I think they tried their hardest to save it. I think the ending, where to begin? Just don't make an abusive relationship look romantic? First of all,
Yeah.
like, I don't understand it. Even if we wanted Kylo Ren to redeem himself, which I think is different for the Star Wars trilogy, it didn't have to be a romance.
I feel
Like,
that.
it didn't. I would have even been okay with Rey ending up with Poe. I would have even.
I thought that's where it was going in the first series.
Yeah, and then I thought, well, after the first film, I actually thought Poe and Finn were going to end up together, and
So
then I
did
read
the world.
but I read in an interview it's because Oscar Isaac wanted them to end up together. So he kept trying to like make it happen so that Disney would be like,
he would
okay, yeah, we'll just write it.
Yeah.
So I wanted that until I realized Disney was like, no. So I was like, okay, let's not be like Tumblr. And let's just think, I don't know. I just didn't think, I thought we were past the 2010s when we made abusive relationships look romantic.
I feel that. See, this is where I would kind of spin it. So I would not call myself a Reylo shipper, and I did not think that I would have wanted anything to do with that until the end of the movie, when I'm like, that could have went so much better. So this is kind of where my thought process, because I didn't hate the idea of them kind of having this weird attraction because they are like connected in some way and they have like these very powerful ancestries. But I wish that, and this is like, you know, typically with books too, when I want a little bit to dive a little bit deeper, I think this is where Disney played it too safe. And that's what makes me mad, because I was just thinking, like, if they built it up in movie 2 a little bit better and kind of showed him that, like, you know, because you think about it, it's such an interesting dynamic where like Rey is the daughter of this darkness and Ben Solo is the daughter of like all this light. And they went to opposite sides. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's just like this juxtaposition that I thought would have worked so well for me. So when they eventually kind of kissed in the movie, I was beyond mad that they killed him. Like, I just thought, I'm like, you just copped out so hard, because think of the implications that if they kissed, how much they would have had to work to, one, get him accepted in society again, and two, make their relationship actually work, because it wouldn't have been sunshine. It's not like the fairy tale ending where they kiss and it's all together. Like, he has been killing people for years at this point, and she's a nobody essentially who has all this power. Like, they would have had to work really, really hard to rebuild trust and like the empire essentially, you know what I mean? So like, I just was like, if you wanted spin-off potential for like your Disney Plus series, like that would have been a great one to like just explore like the complexity of that, of like how, you know, Ben Solo comes back and people want to view him as Ben Solo and not Kylo Ren. So that's where I was mad, because I'm like, you could have had all of this out there, but you chose not to. You chose to kill him instead.
Yeah, the attraction, by the way, never bothered me. I thought it would have just been cool if they didn't end up together, because that's part of the Force attracting them together, and we could have had like that too, depth with that. But no, I very much agree with what you're saying, because it's like, I just felt it was a let's kiss and make up sort of ending.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, I don't know. It's just, if you're going to market a film towards kids, which once you put in Jar Binks and Porgs and BB-8, you have to think of the implications of like, oh, so this person killed a bunch of people, but then they kissed, so it's okay.
Yes, yeah. No, and I totally get that too. And that's where that like romanticizing the bad people are, because essentially, like, I mean, and granted, I don't think he was ever like, there was obviously the implications that he was nasty towards her. I think they didn't go into a territory of like full on abuse, but you never gave him the chance to clear that from him before it was like this romantic scene where he died.
Yeah. And I also think Kylo Ren, this is controversial, I think as a villain in the first film that he was in, episode 7, he was actually one of my favorite villains.
I could see that. I think he was, again, I like the complexity of him personally, so I agree.
Yeah, he wasn't Darth Vader. He was really showcasing kind of what villainry, evilness is like in today's standards, of people worshiping evil people and trying to be them even though they aren't them. And that, I thought he was a way more complex character than they let him be. But Anyways, who do you ship?
So I mean, I think I gotta go OG, like Leia and Han.
Yeah.
Just because I mean, I think like they're just the most like fleshed out, because like I mean, movie wise, Anakin and Padme, like let's not go there. Because I think they could have made it, but it just was a nightmare.
That just so upsets me, because I will say, now that I'm a grown-up looking at healthy relationships, I love the Hans and Leia relationship. Within the Star Wars world, the best.
Yeah.
But I would have loved the Padme and Anakin one if they would have written it well.
Yeah, and I mean, oh God, like Hayden Christensen, man.
Okay, actually,
oh boy.
I realized during our like drinking party, we realized that no one's actually a bad actor. Just the script sucked and the directing was terrible. But I'm gonna get into why later, because I know the reason why.
I can't wait. No, I agree with that though too, because Ewan McGregor is my favorite actor of all time, and like just some of his scenes, and same, like they're my two favorite actors, and like my, again, a film that should have been my favorite film of all time.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, we'll curb that tangent. Okay, so before we get more into like the lore and stuff like that, if you so I guess it's two-parter, is what do you think the coolest aspect of the Force is, and what would you want to use it for?
Sorry, I started thinking about midi-chlorians and I got upset.
I almost included a question about that, but I didn't.
I don't agree with them. But that's all I'm going to say on that one. I just think, to me, the coolest part is, I know I'm going to word this wrong, so I'm sorry to all the fans out there, but when like past Jedis come back to like visit and like give a lesson, like
Force Ghost?
Yeah, like Yoda did in episode 7, I believe.
Yes.
No. Sorry, episode 5. Whoa, got confused.
I was gonna say, wait, I'm like, yes, but because there was Force Ghost in the new trilogy too, but not Yoda.
I'm not really counting that trilogy as existing. But no, I think that's really cool as someone who's really into history and ancestry. To me, that is the coolest thing. And I don't know how a living person could use that to their thing, but that would be like the one thing I would want, just to ask questions. And yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
How about you?
I like that answer, and that's tempting to steal it, but I think I'd probably go with, the obvious. I mean, just being able to like bring things to me. That sounds really cool.
Really great right now during this time.
Yeah, but I would probably say then like force healing is a big appeal. I wish they did it better in the current last trilogy. But it's a really cool thing, and I think they explored it. Now my brain might be shutting off, but I'm pretty sure they explored it a little bit more in The Mandalorian. And I was actually joking, because the episode that they explored the force healing in The Mandalorian was the week before the last episode came out. And I was like, oh, if this isn't, specific timing for this. But all in all, I
haven't seen The Mandalorian because I was so upset with the recent trilogy that I was like, screw this. Yeah. But if it's actually good, then
I would probably say the first 2 episodes, I thought it was going to be a dumpster fire.
Okay.
That I wasn't going to like it. But then as it went on, because the biggest thing for me is it's so episodic, but it does have a bigger story, but it's hard to see the bigger story until you get a little bit further into it. Because otherwise I'm like, this just seems like a space, like Western almost, like where we're just like gunslinging and
okay. And then also all the Baby Yoda memes just really put me off, because I was like, is this another Jar Binks?
Yeah. I mean, he's adorable, but yeah. So,
okay.
Which is, yeah. So I won't spoil any more for you for The Mandalorian, but I think it would just be really helpful and like useful. And I think I'm a naturally healer. I do therapy, so it kind of like fits with me.
I like that answer. I totally forgot about that option because of the last trilogy.
You just blocked it out.
Yeah. But no, that's a good one. Yours is better.
Well, thanks. No, I like yours too. So, I mean, hey, you pick what you pick, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Yes. Surprisingly, for me now, like after seeing, I would say Rogue One.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah. For real, that's my answer. Even though like I
gosh.
love the original trilogy, I just think that Rogue One was like so honestly Star Wars.
When I first met Henry's friends, like one of them said that they didn't like Rogue One, and I couldn't hold back, and I went on this huge rant to them listing why it was the best film ever. Thankfully, we're still friends. That's but it was, I like went on for 2 hours, and I guess I was just so heated by his like reasoning why that he just sat there like this.
Oh my God.
But no, I think that was the best film ever made. But I also have a special place in my heart for the first one ever made. Yeah. So when I was younger.
Oh, wow. You don't want to stop. Okay. That was 25 minutes.
Okay, cool. So yeah. How about, no, yours is Rogue One.
Yeah.
Because it's the best.
It's
the best.
I think like just everything about it. I think like you, in one film, you established amazing characterization, motivation, this like camaraderie between this crew. Like, and you didn't even have like all the cool aspects of Star Wars, and you still made it like that I'm in a Star Wars movie. Like, I don't know, it was just brilliant. So
it was a family film, not a kid's film. There was none of that silliness.
Yes.
And we finally got a risk, because every time I watch a Star Wars of the Skywalker sagas, I just know everyone's going to be safe.
Yeah.
I knew that even with episode 3. I was like, everyone's going to be safe.
Nope, I agree. So I really liked it. It was just really well done. So, okay. So I want to do, since we're approaching the 30-minute mark, I want to do a couple last questions. So in general, Rise of Skywalker trilogy, the newest ones aside, is there anything else that you would change in the canon universe?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get into that one rant I've been putting off.
Go ahead.
So, yes, George Lucas wrote the original trilogy, but his first wife edited it. Then they got a divorce at the end of that first trilogy. And then though he wrote 1 through 3, she was no longer there to edit it. And I think that shows a huge difference in like why it sucks. And I think the one change I would make is to hire his ex-wife. Just to
good answer.
Just to fix it. Just to fix it all. Or hire the Rogue One screenwriter for everything.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Just bring them back.
Yeah, whoever they were, just come
honestly,
on.
Because then you like look at Solo and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope, totally agree.
How about you?
There's a few things, obviously, I think I would change in general. I feel like, so the midi-chlorians, I don't know, like, I don't know how I would necessarily change it. I don't know if I would say, like, let's bring them actually in and make them existent and real, because it's always been, like, this weird plot point of, like, are they, aren't they, are they a thing? And that's what I think I hate the most, is because, like, if you're going to have them, and if you're not, get rid of them. Because then it just, like, I think would make things so much clearer.
Well, I feel like it's not even canon anymore, because
I don't think so.
That was that was my whole issue with them. It was that you couldn't join the Force if you didn't have them, which that was the cool thing about episode 4 through 6. It was anyone could be a Jedi. Yeah. But whatever, midi-chlorians. Yeah. But yeah. I agree with you.
So, and then I think in general too, like, the other thing would be, like, I would like to see more of the different color lightsabers, because again, they so briefly touched upon it in the last movie and there was no explanation. It's like, okay, why does she have a colored lightsaber? Like, she doesn't even know how to build a lightsaber. So that I wish there was more of that. And like, we were able, we had more options, except for like when Samuel L. Jackson wanted to be extra. Like, I wish there was more.
I mean, thank goodness for him in that film, honestly.
Yeah, it was a gift.
Yeah, it's a blessing that I think is the only thing we appreciate from that trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, well, Ewan McGregor and Yoda too. Like, I love them still.
Yeah, I was gonna say Padme's outfits.
Oh, yes, I want to cosplay Padme so bad because of her outfits. Like, she has the most beautiful outfits.
I used to try to make her outfits out of sheets, because that was the great thing about Star Wars, which is something that I think is underappreciated, is that their costumes, though beautiful and intricate, were easy to copy as a child at home.
True. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, when you think about it, because even Rey's, I mean, very easy to make. So,
which I think is so important for a child's imagination.
I like that. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah. So I think we kind of answered one other one, which was, is there any other lore or myth that hasn't been involved, or used to be in the legends and now doesn't exist? I don't know if you have a different answer for that one.
No, I just wish we had a better backstory for Padme and Anakin.
Totally agree.
I just feel like so much more could have been done with that.
The other thing that I hate in general is that, especially with the new trilogy, that you get so many little snippets, like for instance with Rose in the second movie, and then they like kicked her out. Like, they tried to make her such a good focus, and like, I'm not against it, but like, second movie was a mess, let's be real. But then you like,
I thought she died at the end of the second film of that trilogy.
No.
Yeah, like I know that now.
I know, but you would think, because she's not in the third movie at all. Like, well, she is like in the background.
Like, when I saw her in the background of that film, I was like, wait, what, didn't she like die in Finn's arms? Like, there was that whole like dramatic kiss, and I don't know. I think I tuned out of that film. Like, the second Princess Leia was put into space.
Yeah, for real.
That I literally shut down and stopped paying attention. And that's like 10 minutes in.
No, yeah, that is true. Yeah. No, I'm totally with you there. Like, I just think everything was such a mess. And like I said, so where I was going with that though, is that I don't like that they're like trying to make this work so hard that they're like, go read the books for extra info. Like, no, you should not make a movie and have it like no organization and then make you go read books to understand it fully. Like, that should not be a thing. You
also got rid of what was canon in the books.
Yeah.
So like, why would I trust that?
Well, now, I mean, so now I don't know if you're aware, because there's like probably over 100 at this point new books that have been, because they pump out books, but that's what they were doing. Like, there's like and I don't know if it's like 3 short stories similar to like the one book I was mentioning earlier, like Before the Awakening. There might be both, but there is like a book, a young adult, I think, with Rose's journey, like more into like the cantina and stuff like that. So like I said, if you want a better picture, you should read that book, and it should make more sense than when you watch the movies. But I don't agree with that.
See, I knew about the new ones, but once you make older books no longer canon, then I'm going to think that for every book going forward.
True. Yeah. No, and I also agree too. Like, I don't agree with their decision to like unwrite everything that came before. It really sucks for those authors.
Also, things that weren't addressed in that trilogy, we're going for it. On 1% Island, which is what I like to call 1% Planet, you know what I'm talking about? And how at the very end of that really bad film, episode 8, when that boy picks up the broom with the Force, how come he didn't come back to that? That was actually the one good part of that whole freaking film. And I was like, at the very end, when Rey and Kylo kiss and then like people rescue them or whatever, it should have been those kids. It should have been like, not this random, who were these people in these ships?
Very true. I agree.
Also, Finn. They make this really cool thing in the first film where we find out that the clones are human beings.
They're no longer clones.
They're brainwashed. And he like comes to, right? And yet straight away, once he comes to, he starts killing other clones. I just think it would have been really cool if they tried to infiltrate the system and save those clones.
That's
you know what
a
I
really
mean?
good point, especially because like how like noble he is after he like turns. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're just gonna kill your brethren?
Yeah, and I thought the whole time, there's a really good video. Oh my gosh, I really like his stuff. I'll send it to you to put in this video. And it's a guy addressing why this trilogy sucked. And it's all about how they just didn't follow through with Poe.
Yeah.
Finn,
Did.
Finn.
No, I
Finn,
totally get. I knew what you were
yeah.
saying, but no, I honestly like they definitely. I agree. I think in general they dropped the ball, and I think part of it is because you try to change directors and be unique, and that just didn't work. It blew up in your face.
Also, you should never make a fan write.
Yeah.
Like I haven't fully seen Lord of the Rings in a positive way, but Lord of the Rings worked from what I hear.
Oh, look, like the movies?
Yeah, the movies.
They're like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. But
of all times.
It was one big mega fan and only one big mega fan.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, oh, all these like directors are like, oh, these movies made me what I am, so we're gonna use all of them.
Yeah. Well, also, I think it's like when you're looking at the mega fan too, you have to be like, is it going to be a mega fan who's going to be true to the universe, or do you have a mega fan with an agenda because you're unhappy with something that's been written, or you want to make a point?
Are you into writing fan fiction? Which, nothing against fan fiction.
No, but for like a canon.
Yeah,
you can't write fan fiction for canon.
Yeah, I mean, this is way off topic, but like Jane Austen's book club kind of sucked. And that is literally now a canon fan fiction.
Well, I'm not aware, canon, but yeah, no, I know.
It's basic. So it's just never worked.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm so upset.
We should totally have a Lord of the Rings discussion next.
Oh, I might be the worst / perfect person for this.
But so you've read the books, not watched the movies?
No, I read the first 50 pages.
Oh, geez.
Of the first book. I put it down. I think it was 50 pages because I always heard you should give a book 50 pages. And then I turned it off because Frodo decided to like wait 30 years to go on an adventure. And I was a teenager and I was like, if a wizard came up to me and was like, you're going on an adventure, I wouldn't say, okay, just like gonna chill for like 30 years. And then the films, I have technically watched them all, but I watched them with people who were mega fans.
Oh, geez. So it wasn't a good experience?
They kept hitting me if I pronounced things wrong.
Oh, geez.
Like, I wish I was over-exaggerating about the hitting. It was like a full-on like smack on the head. And so I just have like, I get so nervous.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could probably tangent about that, I'm sure. So
sorry.
I obviously went over my 30-minute mark. So I'm going to, for this video anyway, I'm going to ask our final question and then we will peace out for the video. But if you could write a Star Wars book, would you?
If I could rewrite Anakin and Padme's romance.
Okay. That's a good answer.
Then yeah, otherwise I think I would just like to read them all. If I knew they were canon and they weren't going to be changed. I would rather indulge within it than like add my own.
That's valid.
How about you?
Yes. I would love, that's on my bucket list. My author bucket list is to be able to write a canon Star Wars book. Obviously, like there is, I know, parameters around it. Like there's directions that like when you're writing a Star Wars book, like you have to follow a certain script. So like you have some creative liberty on how the story like progresses, but you have to like hit certain plot points. So I'm okay doing that. I would love to do like an adult Ahsoka. Because like I said, I was very disappointed with the teen YA version because that book follows like, and I don't know, again, I know you haven't watched the TV show, but I'm pretty sure it's in between the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. So she's still a teenager and she like just lost Anakin kind of deal. And she's in hiding. So she kind of self-exiled. So that's like what that book is about. And it was too young adult for me. So I would
I know what
love
you
to
mean.
I would love to be able to write like from adult Ahsoka's perspective. And if we brought back some of that, like, and like I said, I don't know the full lore, but like I'm pretty sure she went to the dark side or was like undercover on the dark side for a little while. I would love to do that. So,
Okay.
because I like writing morally gray characters.
They're my favorite too.
Mm.
They're so great and so hard.
They are, but they're
Mhm.
fun.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's where I'd be.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Okay, thanks. Disney, if you're watching this, pick me up.
Oh, Disney.
Yeah. But anyway, all right, so we're probably out of time for this video. So if you are watching this on May the 4th, well then May the 4th be with you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Hudson, for joining me today.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yep, and everyone go follow Hudson as well. And until next time, I'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.